If you've been trying to manifest something, but you're noticing resistance or delays, or it's just not happening for you and you're wondering why, the most likely cause is that you're making one of these 5 different mistakes, which are very common whenever manifesting something. And in this video, we're gonna go over what those 5 mistakes are and also actionable steps so that you can begin to reverse these and start calling in the life of your dreams and manifesting your desires faster than ever. So let's go ahead and dive right into the top 5 most common mistakes. So the first common mistake is your mindset. Let's say that you have different negative scenarios happening in your life. If you're looking at them with the mindset that these negative things are proof that you cannot manifest, that you're unworthy, or that nothing's ever working out for you and that your manifestation techniques aren't working, if you have that mindset, as we know within law of attraction and within manifestation, whatever you believe and whatever it is that you feel and think, that's gonna be what reflects back to you. That's gonna be what you end up attracting. However, every time that you're manifesting something, you will naturally also manifest every single lesson needed in order to build you up to become the person that can actually uphold that manifestation. So let's say you're trying to manifest becoming an entrepreneur and you want to own your own business. Naturally, you might start attracting lessons in your current job where you have to deal with negative customers. You're gonna have to learn a lot about communication. You might have to learn a lot about managing money, budgeting your time, and having willpower and determination, because again, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to make your own schedule. You have to figure everything out on your own. Naturally, when you're manifesting something like that, you will have to also manifest the lessons and growth to help you become that person who's even capable of that. So instead, when you can reframe your negative situations and you can ask yourself, okay, how is this actually serving me? How is this helping me get to my manifestation? Any negative scenario that you attract, and realize that anything that you attract into your life is there for you. It's there to help you grow. It's there to help you manifest. The universe is never working against you. God, yourself, your life, everything that you have around you is not ever working against you. It's always working in your favor, but it really depends on your mindset. If your mindset is negative and you're looking at all the negative things as, oh, this is proof I'm unworthy, this is proof I can't do it, this is proof that my manifestation is hard, all these different things. Whatever you believe about that scenario will become the reality that manifests. Your perception and the meaning that you give to every single scenario in your life will determine the outcome and the manifestation of that scenario. But when you can shift your mind and your perception and you can start asking yourself, how is this scenario helping me manifest my dream life? How is this scenario with my dating situation? Maybe my dating situation isn't what I want it to be, and I keep manifesting people that aren't in alignment with me, and I keep having arguments or a difference in values, bad boundaries, or the other things like that. Ask yourself, how is this helping me manifest my soulmate? What is this teaching me? How is this guiding me in that direction? And when you can shift your mindset to look at it in that way, now your mindset is more in the opportunistic mindset, and you're gonna start to find opportunity everywhere, underneath every situation. And you're also now going to learn the lessons much faster because you're actually looking for the value within those scenarios, because remember, every scenario that we attract is helping you. Things are not happening to you, they are happening for you. And once you can start to milk out the value, the learning, and the growth within all those scenarios by shifting your mindset to now perceive and start to look for those things, that's gonna be where you learn them much faster. That's gonna be where you start propelling yourself, and now you are embracing everything that comes your way. And with that, you will now be on the road to manifesting what you want, because you're gonna feel good about every scenario in your life. There's gonna be value with any scenario, even if it's negative or positive. You are going to see the growth, and you are still going to see your potential, and all of those negative scenarios are no longer gonna take your power away. Instead, you're taking those negative scenarios and you're finding the power within them. So that reframe helps you so much within manifesting your dream life. It will shift everything for you. So once you can start reframing this, that's gonna be where you get all of the value in those situations and you start manifesting your dream life. The second point that I wanna talk about is not appreciating what you have now. Gratitude is so powerful in helping you manifest. And sometimes when we have the current reality that we have around us, let's say that we're not living in our dream home and we really want to manifest the home and house of our dreams, but every time we come home, we're feeling negative about our home and we're like, ugh, I hate living here. Things are always breaking. Nothing's going my way. I don't like this. Da 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 da. Well, of course, as we know, what you think and what you feel is what you end up attracting. So how can we begin to change this? The way you change this is through the practice of gratitude and appreciating what it is that you have now. Let's say that the universe hears everything that you think and what you feel, which is true, it does. And so when you come home and you're not appreciating the home that you have, why would the universe even want to give you something more? If you're not taking care of your home, you're not keeping up with it, you're not cleaning it because you don't appreciate it, why would the universe ever want to give you more? So there's such a power within practicing gratitude and coming home, and no matter what it is that you have, the fact that you have a roof over your head, the fact that you have running water, the fact that you have a place to be, take care of it, feel appreciation for it, and feel gratitude for it, because this is going to shift your energy, it's going to shift your mindset, and therefore, once you have a positive mindset around your home, you attract more good things. Anytime that you feel good about something, you attract more good in that area of your life. So if you feel good about your home, you're going to attract more good in your home naturally. But some people fear practicing gratitude because they fear it's going to make them complacent with what they have. So some people are like, no, I don't want to practice gratitude around my home because if I start feeling good about my home, maybe I'm going to no longer want to improve it. This couldn't be further from the truth. So once you start practicing gratitude around something, it does not make you complacent with it. Instead, it puts you in the appreciation of like, I love what I have now, but our soul and our human nature always wants to improve and naturally always wants to achieve more and move forward. So you're never going to lose that desire, and your soul came here with certain desires on this world in order to experience them. We came here in order to experience life, and your soul will naturally have different callings and different desires because it wants you to experience them. It wants you to fulfill them. Practicing gratitude does not take that away. In fact, it just makes you happier in the present moment, which helps propel you to attract more. Because if you're not feeling good in the present moment, are you going to be motivated to do something more? Are you going to be as energized to change your life? No, because now you're going to be coming home, you're going to be so angry about being in your home and so upset about it and not feeling good about it that it's actually going to siphon away your energy and siphon away your power. But when you can practice gratitude, that's where you see all the abundance around you. And once you wire your mind to focusing on the abundance, now it's going to rewire your thinking to start noticing more abundance, to start noticing more opportunity, to start noticing all the good things around you, and that only ever amplifies more good things to start coming into your life. So gratitude is an incredibly powerful practice. The next common mistake that I want to talk about is letting your past dictate what you expect your future to be. Many of us take our past and we project it into the future through expectations, and maybe we've had certain experiences in the past. For example, let's say that we've had many experiences that showed us that money was really hard to get, and that anytime that we did get it, it would just float away. If we've had a lot of experiences with that, we might be taking those experiences and projecting them onto the future. So we're copying and pasting it onto our future, because whatever we expect our future to be, whatever we believe our future to be, and whatever we feel is now going to manifest in our future. So if we have a lot of expectations because of our previous experiences, whatever it is that you believe will manifest in your future. So if you believe that you are bound to your past, and if you believe that your past is an accurate representation of what your future holds, now you're just going to copy and paste it right into your future. And now we can expect that our future is going to be exactly like our past, but it doesn't have to be. Your future can be so wildly different from your past, and just because you've had a bunch of experiences in the past that said money was hard to get, or we had to work really hard to get a career, and being an entrepreneur wasn't possible, and having the job of our dreams is just wishful thinking, or manifesting our soulmate isn't possible, whatever it is that you believe because of your past experiences, if it has solidified a particular belief, That belief is going to shape what you expect from your future, and those expectations will end up manifesting. But when you can look at your beliefs and when you can look at your past and start to look for evidence that that is false and that doesn't have to be your reality, and just because that's been your reality so far, it does not have to dictate your future. It's so important to know that it does not have to dictate your future. You are not your past. You are what you choose to become. And that is a quote I live by. That is a quote I remember constantly, and I always remind myself of. You are not your past. You are what you choose to become. The next point that I want to talk about is your self-image and the amount of self-love that you have. This is huge when manifesting anything in your life. If you have a limiting self-image where you don't feel worthy, or you don't feel capable, or you have a self-image that says like, oh, I always make mistakes, or I'm unlucky in love, or money is difficult for me and I'm bad with money and I just spend it willy-nilly. Whatever your self-image is of yourself and around your desires is either going to limit you or expand you. And so shifting your self-image is huge when manifesting something, because if you believe that it's difficult for you to learn a new skill, or that you always make the same mistake, if you identify with that self-image, you're going to continue making those mistakes. You're going to continue limiting yourself to that particular reality of which you view your identity to be. All of us will always try to act in accordance with our identity. If your identity says, I am not a gym goer and I just love junk food, well, there you have it. Now it's going to be very difficult for you to eat healthy because your identity says that I love junk food. Therefore, you're naturally always going to reach for that, even if you have a desire to get healthy, even if you have a desire to eat healthy. Whatever your desires are always not as powerful as your self-image. Your self-image has so much power over you, and again, it will either limit you or expand you. So look at your self-image, how you see yourself, how you see your reality, and how you see your desires, because again, it will paint the picture of what you manifest. It will paint the picture of you and your reality deeper than you could even imagine. So look at the stories that you tell yourself, and what are those stories? Do those stories help support what it is that you want to manifest and who you want to be? Or do those stories limit you and hold you back? Because if they do, we need to work on this and we need to start sorting out our self-image. If your self-image is like, oh, I'm always the bridesmaid, I'm never the bride. I am always the single friend. If your self-image says that, you will naturally, unconsciously continue to sabotage any potentials in your future for you to find love and to step outside of that, because your self-image says, nope, I have to uphold this self-image. Therefore, anytime something's going right and I'm going to make some sort of reason why it didn't work out unconsciously, even if you desire to manifest your dream partner and soulmate, if your self-image says that I'm just always the single one, and if you live by that self-image, that is going to manifest and become your reality. If you have a self-image of like, oh my gosh, I always just spend my money and it just flows out for me. Oh my God, I'm just always spending it. But let's say you actually want to save your money for something really important, or you're just wanting to save it in general. Your self-image is going to manifest within your actions. Therefore, it's going to manifest into your future, into your reality, and it's going to either limit you or expand you. And self-love is also something that I put under this category as well, because your ability to love yourself has something to do also with your self-image, and also will help you manifest or either hinder your ability to manifest. If you don't love yourself enough, whenever you make a mistake or whenever you have a desire for something, if you feel unworthy and you don't love yourself, it's going to be actually quite difficult for you to take action towards it. You're going to come up with all these different reasons why you're not worthy of it, why you shouldn't do it, because there's this self-loathing aspect that might come out, or this self-criticism that might come out anytime that you try to take action towards your desire, because you don't love yourself enough to encourage yourself to go towards it. So when you can work on your self-love, self-compassion, this is so powerful to help you manifest something. If you want your dream career, and let's say you want to be a YouTuber, but you are full of self-criticism and self-loathing, and anytime that you make a mistake, you just feel like, oh my God, why did I even try? This is so awful. I'm like, and you're so hard on yourself. It is going to be so difficult for you to take action. It's going to be so difficult for you to push through mistakes, to push through challenges, because you're being so critical and so hard on yourself that naturally you're gonna go into self-destruction mode, and it's gonna be very difficult for you to continue manifesting your desires because you're going to end up being, self-critical, self-loathing, and self-destruct mode, and then self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is birthed through self-loathing, self-criticism, and all those different things. And all of this happens on an unconscious level. You might not even be realizing that you have these limitations, that you have self-limiting beliefs, that you have self-loathing or self-criticism or a lack of compassion for yourself. All of this could be unconscious, but the way to uncover it is to look at, how do I truly view myself? What are the stories I'm constantly telling myself? How do I truly feel about myself and my capabilities and all these different things? When you can look at that from an honest lens and be truly honest with yourself here, that can be where you begin to reframe it. Tell yourself a new story. Tell yourself a story that's going to support the life that you actually want. Begin to tell yourself, hey, I am worthy, because guess what? You are. Every single one of you watching this video, you are absolutely worthy of manifesting your desires. You are worthy of a life that you love. You are worthy of abundance, and you're worthy of manifesting your soulmate. You're worthy of all of those things, right? And sometimes we think that like self-criticism is healthy, because sometimes we think like, oh, I need to be critical of myself so that I don't make mistakes and blah, 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 blah. Self-criticism is healthy to a point, like being aware of your mistakes is healthy, but self-criticism, like being critical of yourself and being harsh and judgmental, that's not healthy. That's actually destroying your mental health, your ability to heal those things, your ability to live a happy life. It's destroying that. It is healthy to see mistakes, but you can see them from a place of self-love. Like imagine how you would talk to a friend. The difference is in how you talk to yourself versus how you would talk to a friend about making a mistake. And then you're gonna start to realize what it means to be compassionate and aware of mistakes, to be able to change them, versus what self-loathing, self-destruction, self-sabotage, and self-criticism looks like, because they're two very different worlds. And sometimes we justify the negativity that we have because we think that it's actually serving us in some way, but it's totally not. So anyway, that is a huge, huge, huge point in manifesting that might be holding you back. Or again, when we shift it, it can become empowering. Self-love, self-worth, having a positive self-image, it can empower you. So that is that point number 4, I think. Okay, and then the next and last common mistake that I have for you, this one is huge, and it's when we let fear or doubt cloud our ability to manifest. Maybe we fear failure. We might even fear success. We might even fear rejection or fear all sorts of different things that could come along with us manifesting what it is that we truly desire. And these fears or these doubts will hold you back more than ever. So once we can start to realize and ask ourselves, okay, what am I fearing? Am I actually fearing my desire? Do I fear, like, what if I fail in that desire? What are other people gonna think and say when I go out and do that? Are they gonna be like, are you gonna have all these criticism and all these thoughts and all these judgments? When that comes through, it will stop you from taking action. It will stop you from even considering your desire. It will stop you from really truly putting yourself out there in an authentic way because we are fearful. So for example, this happens a lot when either people are going for their dream career or manifesting their soulmate. Like let's say you go out on a date, but let's say you fear rejection so bad, so naturally, unconsciously, you might look for flaws within them, even if they're small, because you would rather see those flaws to protect yourself, because if they don't like you, at least you could not like them first. At least you could point out something in them that you didn't like as well. And you might unknowingly start to sabotage relationships with anybody that you like out of a fear that they might hurt you or reject you in the future. So this can manifest in that way. That's a super common thing that actually happens. And most of the time this happens unconsciously. We don't even realize that we're doing this. And then other times it can manifest, within manifesting our dream career. Let's say that we want to be an entrepreneur and open up a business, but we're so scared of failure. We're so scared of what other people are going to think or say about us even dreaming of that or doing that. So instead, we hide, we shut down, we don't even take action towards those things. And even if we do, we're so scared of it and we're so perfectionist with it because we're so scared of the judgment. We're so scared of what other people are going to think and say about the thing. So it never gets done. We get stuck in perfectionism with it and we never truly move forward. And even when we do try to move forward, there's so much resistance, there's so much difficulty and challenge within that, but it's because it's manifesting from your own inner fears, your own inner blocks that are stopping you from moving forward. So the thing is to realize about manifestation within all these different things that we said in this video is the ability to manifest truly lies within you. That power lies within you. And we can either amplify that power or we can diminish and take away that power and repress that power through these different fears, these different blocks, and all the different points that we brought up in this video. You have all the capabilities to manifest your dream life within you, but sometimes we get caught up in all of these what ifs. And even when it comes to fearing failure or fearing judgment or any of these things, the thing is most people are focused on their own life anyway, and even if they do judge you for a moment or a second, does it really matter in the big picture of you manifesting your dream life and moving towards that and building it and creating it? Does it really matter at the end of the day if somebody judges you for that? Like, does it really matter? And like, let's say if you fail at something, let me give you a piece of wisdom. There is nothing such as true failure. Failure is either just an obstacle or a challenge. But if we let an obstacle or a challenge stop us and we give up on our dream, then it becomes failure. But failure doesn't have to exist for you. You can continue to use your mistakes, your rejections, your challenges, all the different hurdles and bumps along the road. You can use those as fuel, just like we talked about in point number 1, to help you grow and learn. And as long as you continue to try and move towards your dreams and desires, there is no such thing as failure. Failure only exists when you let a challenge or a hardship, when you let it make you give up. That's what failure is. So you don't have to fear failure because you're in control of failure. You're actually in control of it. You get to decide whether or not something makes you fail or not. You get to decide whether you let a situation help you grow or diminish. It's all up to you. It's how you internalize it. It's the meaning that you give it. So when you can start working on all these different things, you're gonna notice that you manifest your dream life easier than ever. And these are the top 5 most common mistakes that are either stopping you or creating more resistance around your manifestation or delaying it. And when you can address these things and notice them and work on them and fix them, that's going to be the moment where you unlock your potential and your manifestation is going to start coming in and manifesting faster than ever. So just a quick little recap on the actionable steps to take in order to shift these different things if you're dealing with them. So for step number 1, where it's all about your mindset, what you can do is begin working on shifting your perspective. Anytime you have a negative scenario or anything that you're experiencing in your life, shift your perspective and look for the positives. Look for the value within every experience that you have, because there is value within every experience if you're willing to see it and find it. Number 2 is all about gratitude. When you can practice gratitude and about appreciating what you have now, this is going to amplify your ability to attract more and magnetize more positivity to you right now. Being grateful for what you have and taking care of it and loving what you have already is just going to amplify your ability to manifest more. And then having a limiting self-image or a lack of self-love, when you can practice self-compassion, telling yourself a new story about who you are, what you're capable of, and who you are becoming. When you can start to tell yourself a new story with this, and then also practice self-love and self-compassion. Anytime a critical thought comes in, we can say, oh no, I'm gonna let that go, and let me talk to myself nicely and kindly, and let myself be okay with making a mistake, and let me be easy on myself here. When you can practice this, this is going to shift any self-hatred or criticism or any of that, and it will also help you reframe and create a new positive self-image by telling yourself a new positive story about yourself, one that supports you in what you desire. So instead of being bound by, oh, I am the person who's bad with money, I am the person who loves junk food, if you just reframe the story and you start telling yourself, no, I am a healthy person who makes healthy choices. You get to decide that right now. And just because you were something else in the past doesn't mean that you have to be that right now. You can completely change your story right now, and it will change who you are and the decisions that you make, and it will change your ability to manifest a new reality. And then if you are letting your past still dictate your future, look for evidence to prove your past experiences wrong. Look for reasons why it does not have to be your future reality, such as looking at other people's stories who've maybe had a similar past experience but still manifested their ultimate dream life regardless. So for example, if you want to manifest your soulmate, but you've had a lot of unluckiness in love, look for stories of people who've absolutely had the same experience as you, but still manifested their desires at the end of the day. Look for experiences like that to begin to prove to yourself you are completely, totally capable of changing that story. Or if you're wanting to manifest, owning a business, but maybe you've come from situations where you grew up really poor and money was really hard to come by. Look for other people with similar scenarios, because there absolutely are. There's millions of people out there who've changed their life and have manifested success. They've manifested their own businesses or their dream careers regardless of how they were brought up and regardless of their past. Because those stories will help you build new beliefs. And ask yourself, what beliefs would it take for me to begin believing in my future and my manifestations? What would that version of me believe who already has those manifestations? Would they have the same beliefs about money or love or any of that? Or would they believe something totally different because they're living in a different reality? And when you can start to support those new beliefs in your life and look for evidence for them, that's going to be where you begin to rewire your mind and solidify those new beliefs, and then that will become your new reality. And then lastly, if you are struggling with doubts about your future or fears about your manifestation, fears of failure, rejection, all those different things, the way around this is just through it. Face those fears, overcome them, show that you don't have to be afraid of those things. So if you are so scared of what other people might think of you, just step outside of your comfort zone and do it anyway until you can see that that fear has no basis. It's not valid. It doesn't need to hold you back. Every single person on this planet has fears and has doubts. We all have them. But when we can just work through them and we can face them, that's where we make change. And that's where we also stop fearing the thing. Just as if you take somebody who's like scared of elevators, for example, the only way for that person to get over the fear of elevators is to just start going into elevators and realizing that it's okay, to realize that it's safe, right? That's literally the way to build out of that fear and to realize that that fear does not need to hold you back anymore. So if you want to change any of your fears in your life, put yourself in the situation, face the fear until you overcome it, until it no longer has reins on you. That is the only way around it. There's no way to cure a fear otherwise. You just need to do the thing, put yourself in the situation, and realize that there is nothing to be afraid of. And even if people judge you, it's fine. People judge you all the time, whether you're doing what you want or whether you're not doing what you want. So you might as well just do what you want anyway, because there's no way around judgment. So that brings us to the end of this video, all about the most common 5 different mistakes that people make that end up holding them back whenever they're manifesting something. These are so wildly important, and if you relate to one of these or multiple of these, again, those actionable steps will really help you overcome them. And when you can truly put the work in to shift these things, that's going to be where you manifest the reality of your dreams. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this video. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I've enjoyed making it. And definitely hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Sending you so much love, and until next time, bye!